And now, from 12 Studios, this is News 12 Now.
Today is Friday, October 11th. Welcome to News 12 Now. I'm Kylee Dedmon. New this afternoon, a former Dallas police officer convicted of murder has been denied parole after serving half of her prison sentence. Amber Guyger was sentenced to 10 years in prison for the murder of her neighbor, Botham Jean. In 2018, Guyger walked into Jean's apartment thinking it was hers. She claimed she thought an intruder was in her home, so she shot and killed him. Guyger was convicted and sentenced in 2019. More than 6,000 people, including Jean's family and a Dallas County DA, signed a petition against her request for parole. The family of a teen injured at the State Fair of Texas by a Dallas police horse is speaking out. Fox 4's David Santorigi has that story.
The State Fair of Texas is an annual tradition for the Macharia family.
So we go every year.
The family of 5 took a photo in front of a little Big Tex on Tuesday.
Howdy, folks. This is Big Tex.
But when it went to take a photo in front of Big Tex,
I could hear an impact behind me, so I turned around.
Dallas police say a mounted police officer was patrolling Big Tex Circle when the horse was startled. The officer tried to regain control of the horse, but was bucked off.
The crowd started screaming. That's when I turned. I saw the horse run. So my son is on the floor.
Esther Macharia says her 17-year-old son, Ian Macharia, was injured by the horse. She says her son had a seizure for the first time in his life after being knocked to the ground and lost consciousness.
And he was seizing. He was moving his hands. His eyes were rolling back and forth. Then he just closed his eyes and just passed out.
Cell phone video recorded by Ian's father shows Ian being placed onto a stretcher before police say he went to a hospital.
We want to get more answers. We want to find out exactly why this happened. We want to get justice for this family, and we want to make sure this doesn't happen again.
Attorney Ramez Shamia represents Ian and his mother. He believes mounted police officers are unnecessary at the fair.
Yeah, I think in this specific scenario, I think it's a little over the top. I think it's all for show.
The State Fair says the safety of everyone at the State Fair of Texas is our #1 priority. We are deeply saddened that a fairgoer and officer were injured, and we hope they make a full recovery soon.
He knew there was an impact.
Esther Macharia says her son is home recovering, but he does not remember exactly what happened. She will, however, always remember the moment she says her son lost consciousness.
I can't even get away from it. I'm thinking about it. I'm replaying it in my head.
That was David Sedentry reporting. The family's attorney is asking anyone with video of the incident to contact him at Shamia Law in Dallas.
And we are tracking a few isolated showers out there this afternoon, but really most of the activity is wound down. We had a few storms early this morning, but other than that, yeah, it's been just kind of on the slower side of things. So if you've gotten a little bit of rain at your house today, consider yourself lucky, considering that not many of us did. We actually had a few severe thunderstorms really early this morning too, but the rest of us are kind of sweating it out with temperatures in the 80s. So that will lead to a fairly nice night of Friday night football, but it will be on the warmer side of things, dry as well. Definitely not a blue jean kind of flannel-like night to enjoy, unfortunately. But yeah, we will eventually cool off, but we're going to be breaking possible record high temperatures here as we head into this upcoming weekend. So that being said, mid to upper 90s expected, but we're changing the tune on the weather into next week with our first of potentially several cold fronts here heading in a little bit deeper into October. So we're going to talk about all of the forecast here in the full forecast coming up in just a little bit. But I'm going to hand it back to you, Kylee.
All right, thank you, Brian. Well, the death toll in Florida after Hurricane Milton now stands at 16, with residents in impacting communities cleaning up from the wind and rain. The storm left behind a trail of destruction and unprecedented flooding across the state, leading to incredible rescues by first responders. Christian Benavides reports from St. Petersburg.
Rescue operations continue in Florida, with crews traveling in high water left behind from Hurricane Milton.
Just devastating. Everything is floating.
The water was waist deep at this Lakeland mobile home park, where Billy Mofield and his wife rode out the storm.
It was scary. Other stories, anxiety. It still is.
For some Tampa residents, the swamp of stormwater and overflowing sewage now contaminates their homes, including Yamile Barrios' house.
I was in the street for 3 years and it took me a hard time to get where I'm at. Yeah. Back again.
This 80-year-old woman evacuated ahead of landfall, leaving everything behind.
This is a bad dream. Very bad dream.
Here in downtown St. Petersburg, Milton's thrashing winds pushed this massive crane from a skyscraper that's being built into an office building right across the street. No one was inside at the time, but there's lots of debris left over.
It's very hard to prepare. You got to just take cover and hope for the best.
Milton also brought an unprecedented wave of deadly tornadoes to the state, including multiple twisters to St. Lucie County in the span of 20 minutes. In Vero Beach, this family took cover in the bathroom as a twister tore through their neighborhood.
Even with the hurricanes, like it's never been this bad.
Morgan Ryder from CBS Miami had an update on this pup named Lulu, rescued after tornadoes hit this retirement community.
Love you, Lulu.
Lulu's owners died in the storm. Now she's reunited with their grandson, a moment of joy amid crushing loss. Cristian Benavides, CBS News, St. Petersburg.
And the Choctaw County Ambulance Authority sent a crew down to Sarasota, Florida to assist people affected by the hurricane. They were called out on their first mission just after midnight, transporting senior citizens from a shelter to nursing homes. We will continue to follow them with their efforts in helping those victims get aid. And crews from Bryan County EMS are helping transport patients in North Venice, Florida. A couple of days ago, crews arrived in Miami, Bradenton, and other parts of the state, ready to help those in need. Well, turning to other news now, some Sherman homeowners are left picking up the pieces after a car drove through their home last month. An SUV veered off of Lamberth Road and directly into their house off of Nantucket Drive at an estimated 60 miles per hour. The car entered their home on one side and flew across their formal dining room and out across the home where their front door once was.
It sounded like the biggest clap of thunder I had ever heard. There was this enormous cloud of, I thought, smoke coming at me. And I thought, did lightning hit the house too? And then I looked down and there was a car.
The crash left a path of destruction in their home, forcing them to move into a rental house for several months during repairs. Sherman PD says the people involved fled and have not been found yet. Anyone with information on the crash is asked to contact the Sherman Police Department. Oklahoma and Texas have struck a deal for a Lake Texoma boundary dispute. A Texas water pump built in 1989 is now in Oklahoma after state laws were redrawn in 2000. Since then, that pump has been in Oklahoma. State leaders have been searching for answers, and now they finally agreed on a trade. To get the pump back in Texas, Oklahoma will turn more than an acre of its water in exchange for an acre of Texas water and $10 million. North Texas Municipal Water District operates the pump and tells News 12 this agreement will help secure water for everyone as Texoma grows. The agreement will now make its way to a final review board where state leaders could put the issue to rest. Sarah's Project in Ardmore hosted their Assist workshop at Southern Tech on Thursday to help raise awareness for suicide prevention. The two-day interactive workshop teaches participants proactive skills like recognizing signs and tendencies of suicide and how to develop a plan with them to ensure their immediate and long-term safety.
It's really important to have people in all different walks of life trained in this, because people with thoughts of suicide are going to go to people they trust most. And it's not always a counselor or a police officer. It might be their parent or their best friend or a coworker.
You can register for the next Assist workshop on the Sarah's Project Facebook page. And turning to national news now, former President Barack Obama hit the campaign trail last night, making an impassioned case for Vice President Kamala Harris. Speaking in Pennsylvania, he focused some of his remarks on one group of voters in particular. Wei Jiajing has the story.
Are you fired up?
Launching a Get Out the Vote tour in Pittsburgh.
We don't need 4 more years of arrogance and bumbling and bluster and division.
Former President Barack Obama not only had tough words for Donald Trump, but for black men, a group Vice President Harris has struggled to gain support from.
You're thinking about sitting out or even supporting somebody who has a history of denigrating you? That's not acceptable.
Meanwhile, rallying outside Phoenix Thursday night.
Do we believe in freedom?
Harris tried to shore up Hispanic support. Our latest CBS News poll shows she has 59% of the Hispanic vote, compared to Trump's 41%. But she has lost ground since President Biden won 65% of the vote in 2020.
How do you think she can win over this really important voting bloc?
I think she needs to get right where they are and talk to them, find out exactly what their needs are.
Just hours earlier, Harris answered questions from undecided Latino voters in Las Vegas during a Univision town hall.
My mom passed away just 6 weeks ago. She was never, ever able to get the type of care and service that she needed or deserved. Do you have plans to support that subgroup of immigrants who have been here their whole lives, or most of them, and have to live and die in the shadows?
I'm so sorry for you. Part of the problem is that we do have a broken immigration system.
In Detroit, Michigan, Trump said he would slash taxes as part of his effort to win over blue-collar voters.
We will make interest on car loans fully deductible.
But he ended up criticizing them.
The whole country is going to be like, you want to know the truth? It'll be like Detroit. Our whole country will end up being like Detroit if she's your president. You're going to have a mess on your hands.
The Trump campaign says he was referring to Biden-Harris policies that pushed manufacturing jobs out of Detroit. Today, he will hold a rally in Colorado expected to focus on the border. This weekend, former President Bill Clinton will campaign for Harris in Georgia as an effort to reach out to rural voters in the South. Weijia Jiang, CBS News, Phoenix, Arizona.
And Oklahoma residents, don't forget, today is the last day you are able to register to vote. You can check your registration status and register if needed by visiting vote.gov.
Thank you for watching today's News 12 Now. Make sure to subscribe so you find out why Texoma turns to us. You can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook, where you'll see more social media exclusive content. Want more News 12 Now? Watch us live every weekday through the KXII app on your phone or TV and through our website.